Hi everybody. It is time to do an update on my traveler's notebook. I have been in it now for just a little over 9 months, and I do these updates about every 3 months just to show you how things have changed and how the leather has aged and things like that. So let me show you, since I always like to start with that, how it has worn. So here's the original piece of leather. It comes natural with this color just like this. I loved this when I made it, but I love it even more as it ages, as you can see the difference now within 9 months. I picked natural because I am more of a natural girl, but I think, for me at least, this color really lends itself well from season to season. I don't feel like I have to change it out. I think this is just a nice classic color, and I really like the way it has become this beautiful caramel camel type of color. I did originally start with a turquoise blue elastic, and I went to the black because I think that's more classic for like the fall and the winter. So I have kept the black elastic. Nothing really has changed since the last time I've showed you, and I did when I showed you everything that I was using for the first of the year. It has not changed at all. So let me just show you how the leather looks. It's just got the natural characteristics like this, and then it's just got, like, right in here, it's got some natural type of wear and tear type of stains. But I really like that. I think that's one of the appeal, at least for me, for a traveler's notebook, is just the way that it wears. It's just something, nostalgic. It's just like an old friend. So I still have my, half of it is my planning system, which is my Midori brand monthly, and my undated Midori weekly as well in there. The weekly is set up for 6 months. I used 4 out of the 6 months for my planning system, and then the other pages I'm using for notes, and I only have 4 pages of those left. The monthly I will show you in just a minute, and then the second half right here is still my wallet and Dave Ramsey cash envelope system. So that really hasn't changed, so there's nothing much to show you there. So let me show you my monthly. You guys know that I don't really like undated. That's one of the things I found. So what I have done for February is I just put some stickers, and then I just used a white paint pen to draw in the numbers, and then I also did that for March as well. So that's how that is working. So I really like my traveler's notebook. However, yes, there's a however. I have found that over the past month or two especially, I have grown increasingly frustrated and unsatisfied with it, and this really has caught me by surprise, and I'm sorry if I'm disappointing anybody. So I had to think about it a while and figure out what was bothering me about this. I will admit that it feels really good. The actual, feel in my hand, the leather, the more you use it, it gets very, very soft and smooth. I like that. And it's not overstuffed, so it feels, really good in my hand like this. So I really couldn't figure out what the problem was. I also had another issue, is that my Hobonichi Weeks that I bought for my social media, mainly for YouTube, I'm now on Instagram, that I started a few weeks ago. I have been using that, and I felt like the weeks I wasn't using it up to its potential. So I had a couple of these issues kind of floating around in the back of my mind. And then I also have showed you that I have a notebook that I take to church that I use for sermon notes or Sunday school lessons, things like that I've written down in there. And I also have my Dave Ramsey cash envelopes, which, if you haven't seen those, this is more for storage. So here's all the envelopes, aka I use planner or wallet dividers instead, because they're a lot easier to use instead of like opening up an envelope. That's just a personal preference. So I store them in here, and these are the different categories with the correct amounts with them. And then I just take these out as I need. The only one that lives in my wallet is the grocery one, because obviously we eat all the time and have to go grocery shopping. Then these pop in and out, and I just carry around for the week what I need. And this is not very thick. A lot of the times you'll see the Dave Ramsey cash envelope systems, they'll use a coupon expandable divider or just some other things. I think that they're bulky. I'm trying to streamline a lot of my systems. So that's why I just keep all of these in here. So it's not very thick. And all of this together, as you can see, is also not very thick. And so like I said, it was just, I didn't know what the issue was. And I think after I have thought about it for a while, it really goes back to my purse. I am pretty much a minimalist, especially when it comes to my purse. When I walk out of the house, I only carry what I need. And don't get me wrong, my whole life isn't like this, but my purse is very streamlined. It's very clean. I never have anything in there where I'm like, oh, how did that get in there? Or I lost something and it's at the bottom of my purse. Everything has its place in my purse. And like I said, my whole life, I wish it was like that, but it's not. But my purse, I don't know why. That's just something it's just always been that way for me. So for me, with my traveler's notebook, it doesn't take up much room, but what I was finding is that since most of this is used, and honestly, most of my wallet system, I would say at least half, if not 75% of it, I really didn't need. And so what I started doing is I just made a list. And so let me move these out of the way because I actually made the list in my traveler's notebook with my Midori Weekly. So let me turn to that. So here's my little notes that I was taking, and so here it is. So I started just brainstorming what I actually needed for my purse, and this list is not very exciting, so don't get your hopes up too much about this. This is nothing earth-shattering. And I'm just going to share it with you, just kind of my thought process here. Obviously, I needed a pen in my purse. I needed a monthly calendar only. I just need something where if I make an appointment, I need to write it down, or if somebody's asking me if I'm available on a certain day, that's all I need. I don't need anything else. I need a few sticky notes, a few pieces of scratch paper if I need to hand a note to somebody. Obviously, I'm not going to rip it out of my planner. My wallet contents, I only really carry 4 different cards. My cash envelopes, obviously, aka my dividers. I needed those protected, which means I don't want them just stuffed in like a pocket, a divider or a folder or something like that. I actually want them zipped up and all the way contained. I also don't want them noticeable. Even if I'm only carrying $5, I don't necessarily want people to see. So it can't be a transparent type of zip pocket. I need a place to put my receipts temporarily because when I go to the store, I just put them in there. And then when I get home, usually I'm going to say at least several times a week, I am tracking those with my expenses in my finance planner. And then just a couple of lists, then of course my Aldi quarter, and I won't share the rest of this with you because that's just the rest of my purse contents, but that's what I figured out that I needed. And so after I thought about it for a while, this is all I need. So as you can see, it's a lot thinner. Still, compared to the Traveler's Notebook, the Traveler's Notebook is not that thick, but I just wanted something a little bit thinner. And then if you have all of these 3 together, let me just show you. I still have room in my purse for all of these, but it just was getting a little bit too bulky for me. So all of this over here fits in here. And so that I can't even tell you how ecstatic that makes me. So I'm really, really happy with that. So I've been using this for a little while, and I really, really, really love it. So let me explain this to you. You've seen this before. This is my BaumKutchen leather zip wallet with dividers or slots for your cards. This is what used to be in my Traveler's Notebook, and so I've just taken this out. And I'm going to be honest and say this is admittedly not a perfect system. In a perfect world, this right here would be completely zipped around like a Kate Spade planner, not a Kate Spade, because I know that wouldn't work for me, but like that where she just has a really thin planner and then it's just got the nice little zipper around it. Because I'm doing a no spend for the entire year, obviously I'm not going to be buying anything, and so that's another reason why I went to this, because I figured everything out and this works, and it works out really, really well. So it doesn't have the zip. Also, like the Traveler's Notebook, it doesn't have the built-in elastic, which I would like to have that, but I am absolutely not going to be punching a hole in this. I paid way too much money for this to do that. And so I just ended up using a blonde hair elastic that I had because I'm blonde. I don't know about you guys, but I do carry around a spare hair elastic, and it just made sense to use an elastic so it would keep this shut. And then also, bonus perk is that if I do need an elastic, I know exactly where one's going to be. I am a klutz. I lose things. I try not to. I try to be organized, But my concern was with this elastic, how am I going to not lose that all the time? So this is how I take it off. So watch. So it's around my 4 fingers when I take it off. I just tuck my thumb down. And so when I need to open this up, it just kind of like scoots itself down to my wrist. I mean, how many people have or still carry around a hair elastic on their wrist? So I always know where it is when I take it off, and I always know where I can find it. So that's been working really well. I'm just going to show you briefly. I will do a complete setup on this later, but I'm going to show you how this looks. You've seen it before, so it's nothing earth-shattering. Here are my 3 main cards that I need: my debit, my wallet, and then my insurance for my HSA. And so here is, in this slot right here, I just have the few pieces of note paper that I need. I have talked about how the top at the right here with the stitching isn't great to put receipts, because it kind of, you can't get things in and out of here fast. But the other issue I was having with my Hobonichi Weeks, I just felt like I wasn't using it to its fullest potential. So here I'm going to show you all of my mistakes. Originally when I bought this, I did not have the clear cover, and I am a complete klutz. So this is, I'm a grown woman. It's a peanut butter stain. I know, I cannot be trusted. And then I've also got some staining up here. So I do like that having this in here is going to protect that. I did try it with the clear cover on here, and the clear cover and the Hobonichi Weeks still fits in here. There's enough room, but I just felt like I didn't really need it. So let me put this back in. As you can see, it slides really nicely. It does have probably an inch, not an inch, probably a half an inch headroom on the top there. So, and then here's my few sticky notes that I needed. And so how the Hobonichi works for me is that it's got the monthly automatically, and it's dated, so I don't have to worry about that mess. And then it's also just got a weekly. I don't really need, like I said, I don't need a planner on the go, but I just needed a monthly calendar. I have been using my Hobonichi Weeks to use as my social media, specifically my YouTube ideas and tracking and things like that. But there was a lot of space that was getting unused. So I think, and let me show you this, I've got an ollie clip right here, and I just have one side is the month, so I can flip really quickly to that, and then this one is the week. So I can, that's for my notes. So here is the current month, and then here is the current week. So easy peasy. This is set up just like the Midori one, where it's got the weekly horizontal on the left and then note pages on the right. So this is where I will actually take my notes when I'm at church if I need to jot anything down, and then I can put appointments over here. So that's really all I need. And you know, with the Hobonichi Weeks, the entire year fits really nicely. It's just a very small, compact little planner. So as you can see, compared to the Midori one, the Hobonichi Weeks is at least half. But if you know, with the weeks, only half of that is the planner, the other half is note pages. And so it's just very, very streamlined. I just completely love that. And I will continue to do, I'll do a setup video of this later, and explain that a little bit more. But I do have magnetic tabs, which I have, they mark each month. So I've already, January and February are gone. And I just have the February, all of the weeks of February open there. And then I just added in the back a pen loop right here, because I only need to carry one pen. And then the other side, this is not a pocket in there, just in case you're curious, but this is where I've always kept my Dave Ramsey system. Here is my Sam's card. That's the only thing I think is a negative as far as the cards. I could probably slip it in here, but I don't want to stretch these out too much. So, and I don't want to lose it, so that's why I put it in here. And I only use it, I only go to Sam's Club probably once, maybe twice a month at the very, very most. So here's my grocery tab that lives in here. As you can see, I've got no money left. I've spent all my money for groceries. So this is how it looks. So again, let me show you all of the different, compared to, I did have enough room in my purse for all of this, and actually room to spare, but compared to this with the planner and the note pages and my entire wallet and my Dave Ramsey cash envelopes is still only the thickness of this notebook right there. So you can see I save all of this space up here. So that, my friends, is really why I am going to this one. It just appeals to my senses so much more. And then I wanted to show you with my Dave Ramsey envelopes. Here's what they look like. And what I was wondering was, could I, if I wanted to, is there enough room to have all of my envelopes in here? So I'll show you how those all look. So let me take all these out and put them in here. And so the answer is yes. Of course, I've tried this before. And let me show you how that works. So again, even with my entire cash in here, I'm trying to see just so you can see the cash. It does, you know, it's a little bit lumpy, not very much, but it does make it a little bit more bulky. But still, I mean, I'm just kind of blown away. So all of my cash envelopes, all of my cash, my note pages, my entire planning system, and my entire wallet contents with a pen all fit in this little area. So I love that. Just completely love it. So really, like I said, that's really why I am switching down to this, because it's just more streamlined for on the go. Anyway, I will do an update on my Traveler's Notebook, just in case, for those of you who are wondering. I do plan on using this and going back to what it was originally intended for, which was in the name. It's actually a notebook. And so I am going to make some inserts for this, and I will, when I do my 1 year update on that, I will show you how that's been working for me. So anyway, just thought I'd give you guys an update on how things have changed for me and how I am really loving actually both of them. So thanks for watching. I will talk to you again soon.